Have you ever been playing a game that was a post-apocalyptic game, and you thought to yourself, you know what? I would survive this. In this video, I have asked that very same question. I have looked through the entirety of the internet trying to find a good 10 representation of all the post-apocalyptic settings, and I'm going to put them in a tier list of survivability. D tier being called easy, meaning easy. I would survive this very easily, and I would probably stay here for vacation. And S tier being the exact opposite of this. I might take the easy way out, or I'm immediately getting done it the moment I step into the setting. I have everything from the Doom hellscape in Doom Eternal to the nuclear wasteland of Fallout 4. I put them all into this tier list, and we are going to go through this, giving some lore about each of the settings, because some of them are admittedly pretty good, and making some jokes around the way. And with that long-winded intro out of the way, let's get started with our first game on the tier list. The Last of Us. Listen. To any people that believe that they would survive The Last of Us, I'm telling you, you probably wouldn't. Because let me tell you something. The Last of Us is probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest, zombie setting to survive in gaming. I know most of the post-apocalyptic games are zombie games, so I only chose 3 of 3 separate difficulties, and The Last of Us is definitely one of the more difficult ones. Let's go over what makes this so difficult. Number 1, it spreads via air and bites. Okay, we're not talking about the Fallout HBO Max setting. No. We're talking about the actual game. The zombie infection in the game is a hucking menace. You gotta deal, I'm not even kidding you, with runners that I guarantee you probably run faster than most of you watching this. You gotta deal with prowlers at night that are the stuff of nightmare fuels that 100% have jump scared me at least 10 times in playing The Last of Us 2. You gotta deal with factions that are going to beat you to death with a golf club. I still have not emotionally recovered from that. Not to mention the clickers. I think you know what this audio is. That nightmare fuel all in there, and not to mention, the clickers are semi-bulletproof because the fungus that grows out of their heads that makes them look like this is also ballistic resistant. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a no to me, man. 100% this isn't gonna go in easy, and I'm not even talking about the fucking Rat King that is also in here, because most of the time, we're not gonna make it that far to see this. In terms of difficulty, I'm not going to put myself in an S tier. I don't think it's that difficult because there's still a society functioning to a certain degree. Yeah, the government has pretty much collapsed, but apparently they have the infrastructure to give Abigail these gains. So there's clearly the infrastructure to get the whey protein production up. So I'm going to put this one, and I would possibly survive. I think the odds are probably like 90% I'm cooked. But it barely misses out on our S tier, purely because I might be able to do it. You get me to one of these like safe spots, I might be able to survive. Let's be real. A lot of these safe spots that were designated by the government is basically Chicago, but you could get robbed for your food stamps. So basically Chicago. So yeah, I'm going to put this one in A tier in terms of difficulty. Next up, we got the Doom hellscape in Doom Eternal. Technically, it is a post-apocalyptic game if you played the second one. And there is absolutely no way I'm surviving this. Let's go over the lore of it, because a lot of people kind of just brush it off as like, oh, they're just demons that have invaded Earth. That's the basic way, and that's frankly, that sounds easier than what it is. Let me give you an idea. The only reason that Doom guy, or Doom Slayer, is able to do what he's able to do is this motherfucker is imbued with the power of God to do this. The demon army smoked the entirety of humanity pretty easily, to the point that they had to rely on having a space station to blow up Mars to push them back slightly. Don't even get me started how they somehow have space travel of all things, even though they already have teleportation. The Doom Dimension, or Hell, is technically not even hell. It is actually a dimensional virus that is slowly killing off every single living being in the multiverse. Yeah, this is a multiversal threat. It is even worse than what you think it is. Doom Guy is the only dude that can actually survive this, every other segment of humanity has been smoked. And when your cities start looking like this over and over again, and the only dude that's possibly winning this is Giga Chad Doom Guy, yeah, I'm cooked. There's absolutely no way to survive this. Maybe I can get lucky and I can... There's not even getting lucky. Like, you're drawing... You're choosing how to die at this point. I don't think I need to explain to you. Not to mention that you find out... Spoiler warning, by the way. You find out by the end of the series in Fallen Gods Part 2... The dude who's supposed to be the devil in the Doom series is actually just God, and you are the reincarnation of him. Yeah, we're cooked. There's no other way to say it. Yeah, no, I'm going to put him in S tier in terms of difficulty. Now to get a bit more lighthearted, we're going to be talking about my favorite zombies game I have ever played, Dying Light. Not Dying Light 2 Become Human. That's trash. Dying Light 1. I love this game, and I still will play it with my overpowered character that one-shots every enemy in this game. I'm gonna put this one... this one's a tough one. In terms of a zombie's experience, it is not the most difficult apocalypse to survive. It's more difficult than The Walking Dead. That's another one that's gonna be on this list. As far as my chances, what do I have to deal with? Okay. We got the normal samblers that I think even Carol from The Walking Dead can take care of. And I think I can take care of them pretty easily. I think my chances are pretty good against them. And then we're getting into nighttime. I remember the tagline of Dying Light 1 was good night and good luck. I used to refuse playing that game at night because as a child I was terrified of the volatiles. And if this really happened, as an adult I would be terrified of the volatiles. How am I supposed to fight that? They got... Dude, their skin is ballistic resistant. They have the speed of Usain Bolt. They got the parkour of American Ninja Warrior winner. Not to mention, they can take out half your health with one swipe, which they also have claws that are claws that are serrated. And we're not even going to bring up the ones that are intelligent enough to plan to take out humanity. We're just talking about the ones that are feral. Not to mention the acid spewers, the big hammer guys, the whatever the hell that thing is. I don't know how I'm supposed to fight that. In terms of difficulty, however, is it just me, or is growing up realizing that if a zombie apocalypse happened on Friday, you would get a 3-day weekend and then you would have to go to work back on Tuesday? I think we would be able to take care of this pretty easily. Let's be real here. I understand the first game was about, like, debating whether they should just nuke the Middle Eastern town that you were in. And yeah, that'd be a bummer. In real life, we would level this entire place. I don't even think this would really be a problem. However, in terms of my possibility of surviving this, I'm going to put this one in about 50-50. You just have to have a good compound. Don't make any noise. I don't know whether I would be safer in the inner city or I'd be safer in the countryside. That's very difficult. I'm going to say a 50-50% chance because I might be able to survive during daytime. Next up, the Fallout Nuclear Wasteland. Listen, there was actually people thinking that this was one of the easier ones to survive. Are you joking? The Nuclear Wasteland in Fallout, okay? Like, I understand people, like, have an idea of what Fallout is like in Fallout 4, and I'm here to tell you that was the easiest version of the Wasteland. And there's mosquitoes the size of fucking dogs, bro. Let me just tell you this. I would rather deal with a black bear than a mosquito the size of a dachshund. I am dude, I'm fainting from fear the moment I see that. Let's go over the lore why you aren't surviving this. Number one, instantly, 80% of us are done from the nuclear blast. We got nuclear winter, we got the fallout. You are dead so quickly, it's not even funny. Okay? Instantly, 80%. Like right now, we're in age here just because of the nuclear blast. But let's say we get into a vault, okay? You might be able to live out the rest of your days in a vault, but I don't know about you. That seems actually pretty horrific if you're in a control vault. And funny enough, only around 20% of all the vaults in that universe are considered a control vault. You want to know why they're control vaults? Because they had to figure out what would happen if a vault worked normally, because all the other ones, the other 80%, were experiments to another degree. Brother, there was a vault where they had to sacrifice a person every single year, or the vault computer said that they would kill every single person that was in the vault. So they did this every single year until there was 5 people remaining. And they just said, you know what? We've gotten too close to these people. We've already killed hundreds of our friends, our loved ones. We've already done all of that. So they decided, with the last 5 of them still alive, that they were going to try to survive it. They just tried to die with the vault computer, right? The moment they didn't want to sacrifice anybody, I shit you not, Vault Tech rickrolled them and said, yeah, bro, that was the whole point of the experiment. All you had to do was just, not sacrifice a person. Vault door opens, they all die because, of course, the Wasteland's going to get it done. And Fallout is bleak. Like, let's say you get into a control vault. Let's not talk about all the horrific stuff that they used to do, okay? Let's assume you're in a control vault. You also have the chance of getting instantly smoked by the Enclave because they want to kill every person that is not a part of the new America. They're like the Ultra Patriots. And they'll instantly smoke you the moment you open the vault. That happened in Fallout 2. Let's say you get out of that. Okay, let's say the Enclave doesn't instantly smoke you. Now you're in the Wasteland. You got to deal with mosquitoes the size of dachshunds. On top of that, you got to worry about super mutants, ghouls, death claws, more nuclear bombs, Terminators, the Brotherhood of Steel. Bro, you are cooked instantly the moment you get out there. I don't even care. Fallout is the second most difficult apocalypse out of the entirety of gaming. I don't know why people think they're surviving this. Go look at some old Fallout 1 and 2 videos, and you're going to realize how bleak that setting is. Just saying. Now we're going to get a little bit more lighthearted. Horizon Zero Dawn. Dude, let me just tell you this. I'm going to put this one... Let me actually think about this. Let's go over the lore of Horizon Zero Dawn really quick. Number 1, technically, none of the humans before the game setting survived. Because what you need to understand is that there was a... I'm sorry if I get any of these names wrong, but you're going to understand the basic of the lore if you never played Horizon Zero Dawn and people haven't played Horizon. So let me tell you what happened. So, where do I start with this one? Okay, we're gonna start back. Humanity becomes super advanced. They create AI, okay? Kind of like what we're doing right now. So they create an artificial intelligence that was supposed to take control all of the world's military. And what this thing does, it's called Ares. Why the fuck would you name an AI Ares, dude? Anyways, it starts making its own. This AI model figures out that, okay, I have to kill all humanity, so it goes full Skynet on us. But here's the particular horrific stuff that it did. It created robots that use a biological material to run. So it uses us as human batteries to wipe us all out. And you think to yourself, well, how did they end up beating Ares? They created another AI model called Gaia. What Gaia was meant to do was take the entirety of human DNA, put them into, I'm not even kidding you, vaults. Same name. It is what it is. They put them into vaults, and all the humans died. What Ares ended up doing is it killed the entirety of humanity, and when it did that, it powered off because it ran out of batteries, because it killed them all. All the wildlife is dead, so what the humans decided to do, material to Gaia ends up remaking all the humans over again from cloned material in a bunch of little animals so the ecosystem can come back. The reason that there's robots everywhere is because they realized that organic material all died off, so they made robots to make the ecosystem livable for humans. That's why there's robot dinosaurs everywhere, because they made an artificial ecosystem. All that out of the way just to say, it's actually kind of a beautiful place. I would love to live somewhere that just looks like this normally. Honestly, the one thing I'm going to have to worry about is there is the occasional robotic saber-toothed tiger that kills off humans. I'm going to put this one in mild, because I don't have to survive the before. All I have to do is survive just living around. And I think I could do that pretty easily. But no, it is not the easiest one on here, so Horizon Zero Dawn goes in mild. Next up, we got the Bloodborne blood pathogen. Time to whip out the Tism logic real quick. I'm tapping into some Tism memory, bro. I can't believe I remember all of this. So, brief lore on Bloodborne, what you need to understand. How does everybody monsters? How did this all happen? Well, it all starts with this. Some wannabe doctors consulted a Eldritch god and took the blood from the Eldritch god, used it as medicine because they found out it was a miracle cure for everything, only to find out, oh, soccer, if we take blood from the Eldritch demon and inject it into ourselves, yeah, some bad stuff's probably gonna happen. So imagine this. You're going through your normal Elizabethan era, whatever the hell it's called. Everything's kind of gothic and beautiful looking out, and you break your arm. You go to the doctor, they give you a blood sample from an Eldritch god, and boom, you're a werewolf. You have become a furry. You have contracted furriosis like an STD. Instantly cooked. Bro, let's say that doesn't happen. This is what I will say, though. There is canonically people that survived the entire Bloodborne blood pathogen purely by staying inside. So my odds of survival automatically aren't terrible, purely because if I just stay inside the entire time, I can be like that one kid whose dad died. I think it was Father Gascoigne that you kill later on. And here's the thing. If I gotta sacrifice a loved one to survive, it is what it is. Okay, sorry. I think I'm going to put this one in 50-50 purely because if I can just stay in the buildings, I don't have to worry about the werewolves, the squid people, the orphan of cause who killed me 50 times, the actual hunter who's supposed to be the good guy. Yeah, no, I just got to stay inside and I might survive this. I'm going to put this one at the top of 50-50. It's more difficult than Dying Light. The Walking Dead. Dog, let me just tell you this. I'm going to sound out of pocket, but I'm going to tell you this right now. When I said that we would clear up Dying Light in a 3-day weekend, I shit you not. If the Walking Dead virus happened today, instantly, 1 million zombies are just teleported into the United States. We would have that shit packed up in 3 hours. Okay? We would immediately throw all of our differences aside and get that done in 3 hours. Here's the fucked up part about it. If this happened, the government would give you a longer lunch break, and then you would immediately have to go back to work the next day. We would get this packed up so quickly. Understand, I used to think The Walking Dead was cool and scary until I realized how easy it would be to take care of this. Holy crap, brother. I would be racking up numbers in this apocalypse. And boom, I get overrun. All I gotta do, little quick speed jog, I am good. Dude. If any of my viewers think that they would get done in a zombie apocalypse, dog, get on a treadmill and go above 20 miles per hour. Not 20 miles per hour. Damn. No. 2 miles per hour. Shit, dude. You would survive easily in the Walking Dead apocalypse. The only thing that you would have to worry about is people. But I think if it really happened, I think we'd be really cool with each other. I think we would just get it done and then go back to work. Easiest apocalypse in the entirety of gaming. Yeah, I think Horizon Zero Dawn is more difficult than The Walking Dead. We got another nuclear apocalypse. We got Metro. Now this one's going to be a controversial one. Metro, if you're not familiar, is very similar to the lore of Fallout, only when it comes to the nuclear bombs landing. This is in a timeline where the 1970s Cold War ended in a nuclear conflict, and you play as a character set in the metro area of Moscow. Moscow was bombed damn near 10 times over, so the radiation is very bad in that one concentrated spot. So you live underground. Automatically, it's pretty bad, there's corruption all the time, but people can survive. If I'm in the metro area, if I'm underground, I would say my odds are probably a solid 50-50 in terms of survival. I think I would be pretty useful, unless I would die immediately due to whatever the hell's living down there, brother. I don't even know what they're called. However, due to playing Metro Exodus, which is not a bad game, by the way, you find out that there are places in Russia, because most of Russia's pretty barren, that aren't affected by radiation, but there is some radioactive creatures. You have to deal with, a radioactive bear, that would suck. A big old fist, that would kind of suck. Be a quick death, though. I mean, let's say that. But outside of that, you could legitimately survive. Yeah, you got to worry about raiders. But in terms of difficulty, though, the fact that you can live without suffering from radiation, because if you're outside of Moscow, you can survive. Honestly, I'm going to put this one 50-50, bro. Dying Light might be more difficult because now you got zombies that are constantly attacking you. Yeah, I'm going to put this one at the bottom of 50-50 in terms of survivability. We got our last zombies one of the list. We got Days Gone. And I said I included a good spectrum of what zombie games are. There is no Left 4 Dead on here because Left 4 Dead is very similar to Dying Light, and I think Dying Light has a more interesting lore. Walking Dead, I had to include Walking Dead just to dunk on it. And Days Gone is probably the toughest, might be the toughest virus to survive. Let me explain. The thing about The Last of Us that makes it so difficult is that the zombies themselves are ballistic resistant. But there's not a ton of them, okay? Days Gone has fucking oceans made of these things. I remember playing this game, going up against the hordes and just, watching my poor PS5 sounding like an F-22 fighter jet trying to run this shit because there's 350 different zombies on my screen. I would be so astronomically cooked if I'm here. Let's not even talk about the fact that you find out at the end of the game that it is airborne. Everybody has the virus in them, but some people have an active resistance to it. And that there's zombies that have human-level intelligence. Brother, how are you going to get that done? You always have the normal ones. You got the ones with the extra strength. You got the swarms of them that are going to take you out. You got the screamers, the Banshee that is going to call a bunch of them in. You got children. That was another one. I love how they just made like the crawlers, like the ones that'll sneak up on you. All they are is just a bunch of children and you're just whacking them with a baseball bat. Like, Days Gone had no chill and I respected them for it. But on top of all of that, the thing that could potentially make Days Gone the most difficult zombies to ever survive, the animals can get it. Dog, there are crows that can give you the virus. There are bears that are ballistic resistant. Dude, there are wolves that can get it. All animals can get the virus. Which is something that The Last of Us played with, by the way. If you could actually look at some of the concept art of it, it's actually kind of dope. But Days Gone did it. Days Gone is the most difficult zombies to deal with. I'm going to put it at the top of possibly. Purely because there are compounds that manage to survive the the zombie virus. Which is more than I can say for Doom Eternal and the entirety of humanity getting wiped out in a nuclear wasteland. And finally, just because it's creative, Death Stranding. I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to do a lore dump on Death Stranding. I still don't understand it, and I've seen an hour-long video of explaining it. All I can really tell you, ink, babies, zombies, demons, Norman Reedus. That is how I would explain Death Stranding to you. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to put this one solid at possibly, purely because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, dude. I see that we are so technologically advanced that we can technically survive in these compounds. But like, dude, I don't know how. I don't even know the rules, okay? How do I survive this? Do I need a baby? Do I need a baby to survive outside? I don't get it. Okay, I'm instantly putting it impossibly. I'm sorry. But that is going to be the tier list of gaming apocalypses that I think I may or may not survive. You tell me what you think in the comment section down below. What apocalypse do you think got snubbed? And I swear to all that is holy, if you name a zombies game, we're going to have problems. There's too many of them. But there you go. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Please consider a like, comment, subscribe to help grow this channel. It means the most to me. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.